Ni hao, zhou shang hao. Good day. I'm Freya Deva Bihempesa and welcome for this video. Today, we're going to tackle all about words in terms of variety of English. So what is variety of English? There are three variety of English, which is the Philippine English, the American English, and the British English. So when we're gonna say it's a Philippine English, Philippine English is an English language used in the Philippines. It is commonly used in the Philippines. So when we say American English, it's an English that they commonly use in the America or in the United States. So when we say British English, it's also commonly used in the United Kingdom, in the British, in the Britain. So I'm gonna give you for example the Philippine English term, the American English term, and the British English term. So let's get started. First one, we have the word basura, or in English it's a trash. So commonly used in the Philippines is a trash, while in the America the term there is a garbage. So when we talk about in the British term, it was called rubbish. But at the same time, they are just the same, but they have different terms. The second one is the cabinet. It's a storage where we put our clothes there or anything to wear. So in the Philippine English term, it was called cabinet, while in the American English term, it was called closet. And lastly, in the British English term, it was called wardrobe. And the third one is the receipt or a recibo. Here in the Philippines, we call it receipt, while in the America or in American English term, they called it bill. And lastly, in the British English term, it was called note. The fourth one is word slacks or a pants. Here in the Philippines, we call it slacks or pants, the lower outfit, and in the American or in the American term, it was called pants, while in the British, they call it trouser. Next word is a swimming pool. Philippine English of a swimming pool is a swimming pool, while in the American English, it was called wading pool. And in British English, it was called paddling pool. Another word is this shoes. Philippine English for shoes, we call that as a rubber shoes. And American English is a sneakers. And also the British English, it was called trainers. And the next word is swimsuit. Here in the Philippines, it was called bikini, or a Philippine English is bikini. And in America, it was called a bathing suit. And also in the British or in British English, it's a swimming suit. The next word is a power outlet. Philippine English is a power outlet. And the American English, it was called electrical outlet. And lastly, in the British English, it was called PowerPoint. Next, Philippine English, browned out. And the American English, it was called blackout. And also in the British English, it was called power cut. We have here the word, Philippine English word, attire. So in American English, it was called costume. While in the British English, it is a fancy dress. Next word is the imitation. Philippine English, imitation. American English, it was called replica. While in the British English, it is a counterfeit. Next word is a motor. It's a motor. Here in the Philippines or Philippine English, it's a motor. While in the American English, it was called motorcycle. And also in the British English, it is a motorbike. Next word is a gasoline. Here in the Philippines or Philippine English, it is a gas or gasoline. So in the American English, it was called petrol. And in the British English, it is a gasoline. Next word is a pacifier, where the baby use it for sucking, Here in the Philippines, we call it pacifier. And the America, or in the American English term, it was called dummy. And in British, it was called suitor. Suitor. Another one is the cinema, or here in the Philippines, it's a cinehan, and in English, it's a cinema. So, in American English term, it was called movie theater, where we can watch some movies. And lastly, in the British, it was called also cinema. And the last one is the main branch or headquarter. So main branch is commonly used in the Philippines, or it's a Philippine English term. In the American English term, they call that main office. Main office. We also use that in the Philippines, but what commonly used is the main branch. And the British term is the headquarter. They call it headquarter. Their main office, they call it headquarter. Do you guys learn something? Thank you for watching. Bye bye. That's all.